Hey there, this is JamiroFan 2000. Welcome back to another episode of JamiroFan Talks About, where I basically talk about the 24-year-long discography of JAMIROQUAI. And for the last few episodes, I've been discussing their albums. And now we are up to the fourth JAMIROQUAI album, 1999-1998's Synchronized, which was a bit of an album. This album had the best music production of all the JAMIROQUAI albums combined. Some fans do complain about how horrible the recording and the production was in the first two JAMIROQUAI albums, but that's understandable. It was the early 90s, and even though they were signed to Sony, which is still one of the biggest record labels of the time, the analog recording they were doing was pretty bad. But there was a bit of a production rebound for traveling them moving on to Synchronized. Now, Synchronized could be considered like the Radiohead Amnesiac of the catalog. Their band members the band was going through changes at the time. You had Stuart Zender leaving after Traveling Without Moving, and then picking up a new bassist in Nick Fife. You had just things happening with JK, personal things, and he was struggling with an addiction to cocaine. But luckily, JK would end up doing a little bit of self-prevention and actually kicking that habit with the help of his friends like Wallace and Sola. Stayed with him in the home, helping him get over this addiction. But when you look at Synchronized, it was a pretty darn beautiful album, audio-wise, production-wise. All the song, this could be considered the Revolver of the JAMIROQUAI album. What I mean by that is, like the Beatles album Revolver, you can listen to the album from the beginning to the end seamlessly. You can't nitpick with separate singles. JAMIROQUAI had a second big mainstream hit with Cant Heat, and that was one of the finest songs that JK was able to come up with. The production was just seamless, absolutely perfect. Not to mention, the song garnered a lot of attention, being in the breakthrough comedy of that era in the 2000s, Napoleon Dynamite. But every song on that album was just gorgeous and wide open. Now, the subject matter wasn't necessarily about anything topically viable. It was all about bass. This was the album that marked JAMIROQUAI going from the acid jazz funk, their old sound, to what the fans referred to as the new sound, the more mainstream, the more disco-oriented sound, dance sound at that time, which was mostly a lot of like the burgeoning house and trance music scene, which was still very experimental at the time. But JAMIROQUAI were trying to do different things. They're evolving with the time, and the sound was just absolutely amazing. Every sound is like a diamond. Every song is like a gem in a treasure chest. It was just so gorgeous. The best songs in the album, Cant Heat was amazing. Planet Home was another great track. And the two gorgeous ballads on there, Falling and Butterfly, were just amazing. And then the song that ended the album, King for a Day. Now, many fans speculate that this song was about the messy breakup of Stuart Zender leaving JAMIROQUAI to go and do his own solo thing, because he would end up going on and doing a R&B project called Azur, A-Z-U-R. The project would never be released. It had collaborations with D'Angelo, the soul singer at D'Angelo, and a few other artists, but it would never end up being released. But King for a Day is theorized by fans, never was confirmed by JK or any band member, to be about the messy breakup of Stuart Zender leaving JAMIROQUAI to go and do his own thing. But in the end, Synchronized would end up being a great little album, and would be a bit of a stepping stone into probably a very futuristic sounding JAMIROQUAI in their next album. But I'm interested in what your thoughts are. What are your thoughts of the JAMIROQUAI album Synchronized, or what were your favorite tracks from that album? Please leave your thoughts and comments in the description boxes. The comments section of this video down below. Screws that Freudian slip. Down below in this video, and I'll see you again real soon with another episode of JamiroFan Talks About. Bye bye.